Well, hey, hey, hey. If you don't know who I am, I'm one half of Burning Up the Roads. And I thought I would go live because I need some decompression. I'd sing and dance, but I'm all out of sing and dance. Just a very busy afternoon and evening. Hey, 3 people already. Class A Carrie, hello to you. I really didn't think too many people would see this. It is kind of late in the evening. I understand that, but I needed some decompression time. New Horizons, what's wrong is I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, Susan? And I need help, but right now it was just about decompressing. So what's going on is, you know, as well as anybody, how many layers there are to creating a channel once you get monetized. I'm going to lose my mind. I have very little of this figured out. And I really don't know how I let it get this out of hand, to not be able to know certain things. By the way, what's an IFT? IIFT, I think is what they call it. IFFTTT. What the heck? And how do you set it up? So thank you for coming in, though, TCG fam. Victoria May, Life Unfiltered. So I dropped a link, and if there's anybody who wants to come up and chat about the struggles of actually setting up a proper YouTube channel once you are monetized, I would so love to have you up here, because I'm lost, and that's just a fact. I'm not going to pretend like I know what to do either, other than reach out for help. So I will be honest with you, Susan. I don't even know where to look. Oh, God. I pride myself in being a little brighter than this, guys, but yes, I'm not just talking to myself.
I know, you're trying to think of something, so I'm trying to help you think.
Oh, no. I disdain having to admit I don't know what I'm doing. What I don't know is I don't even know how to figure out where I find out how much money I've made. I mean, it's really that basic.
There could be $400 million in a Bitcoin somewhere, and Kay has no idea. She can live and die not knowing. It's like they'll be like auctioning off her Bitcoin fortune.
Yes.
She had no idea that she had $400 million.
I had no idea I had $400 million in Bitcoin somewhere. Smart ass Josh. That's my son-in-law. So anyways, I just applets. What's an applet? I just set some up and I don't think they're there, and I don't even know what they are. That's the worst part of it. Oh, hello, Northwoods RV Life. Jennifer Glover, that would be my niece. Hello. What's wrong is that I don't know what I'm doing. I'd be no help. Well, I really wasn't looking for help so much as I was just looking for opportunity to say I am clueless, and I'm extremely stressed over being clueless. YouTube Studio. I know. I've been reading the same stuff over and over. The money symbol. I know. So I do know that. Google it. Jennifer. Desktop version. Sounds like you need some help. I probably do. Jennifer, it's okay. Yes. How are you, Jennifer? I hope you're doing good. I was going to call you guys all tonight, but your auntie dropped the ball because I started working this afternoon. Yes. So I dropped a link here. I'm going to show you guys something. All right. I'm going to share the screen. I have a new Jennifer. Tell me you're lying to me, please. You travel in the country with a cat. And now you're traveling with a dog, puppy. You know how much I love dogs. She's for me when you come. Honey, I've got a 24-foot RV. I have a dog. She's a beagle. She's extremely possessive. And I cannot fit another animal in my RV. Unless it's Loki. Then he can come anytime he wants. Or Czar. But neither one of them will want to come and live with me. I know. I know. I saw that today. He's one of the two people that I'm actually a patron of them. And I adore Kevin. And it's heartbreaking. I mean, really, for him and the dogs, you know, him and the dogs, those puppies, I feel just I prayed quite a bit today because I just, you know, I don't want to see nothing happen to Kevin. But if he's going to the cancer hospital in Phoenix that I think he's going to, that's where I always said I would want to go. If I ever got cancer, is to there's one in Phoenix and there's one in Seattle. And I'm sure there's others throughout the country, but anyways, I do know that. Just trying to figure out how to set things up on my channel. And I should have asked for help a lot longer ago. Yeah, there's just things. I was setting up applets from it's called IFFT, IFFFTT, I think. And what, you know, I'm not even sure they set up. I'm just not even sure they set up. That would be great. Northwoods RV Life. Jenny. Oh, I've already said hello. Chasing America. Hello to you. Thank you for coming over. I know it's probably super late for many of you. 10:45 if you're on the East Coast or further. And then I saw that Lance did not have his. He canceled his live stream. And so I thought, well, after I had a bowl of strawberry cream ice cream with a dollop of double fudge on top of that. Okay, and I did it. I had it. Just saying. So I dropped a link. And I will do it again, if there's anybody in here who would like to come up and just, after I do this link, I'm going to pull up some things for you to see. And I don't know how this could be, but it is. Let's see what. Oh, we're past that. And Jennifer, I hope you're kidding me. You know, really. She's not for me unless, again, she's Loki. And I'd have to kill William to get Loki from him. So, and since I love William, there will be no killing of anything. As you can check out Tuber Chat on YouTube, will teach you everything you need to know. We have learned so much on there. Yes. I haven't looked at Tuber Chat, but TuberGuru is in the room. Daphne, what kind of dog is she, Jennifer? Is she ever going to look like Loki? Because he's so handsome. Hello, Jill Weatherly. Thank you for coming. Can't you call YouTube? Can't you call YouTube? Okay, Jenny, did you just say, can you call YouTube? Boom. No, you can't call YouTube. They make sure of it too. I'll tell you what, because if they had a call-in line, they wouldn't have enough people. They wouldn't have enough people to staff it for all the questions. YouTube probably gets in a day's time. And Jenny, I can't see you down in the, I can see your name, but I don't see you, sweetheart. You might drop out and come try it again. It's completely white screen. Although I'm extremely white right now, and I don't know why. I've checked my lights. It's the same lights I use all the time. So I don't know what's going on. All right, Jenny. I'm going to bring you up. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Do you want to meet Daphne?
Let me see Daphne. This is my niece, Jennifer.
Hi, guys.
Midwest. Well, there you go, Jenny. What is she?
She is an American bully. Her dad is an American bully, and her mom is a Staffordshire pit, and she is 10 weeks old, and she was free, and I had to take her.
Well, you didn't have to take her.
I
when
know.
You didn't take her, you didn't steal her, right?
No. Well, no. So
Kitty.
me and Johnny were driving, and we had a Penny Saver magazine or pamphlet or whatever, and I seen the first thing on there that said free puppies, and so I called, and I didn't get through. An hour and a half later, we're still driving up the freeway, and they called me, and they were actually 11 miles from where I was at in that location, and so I said I gotta go get her. Look at her, she's so cute.
Oh, Daphne, has she met Loki?
No, but she's met Phoebe, and Phoebe is so pissed.
I bet she is. All right. Hey, Jenny, I've got someone. Yep. I've got a savant up here on the screen ready to come up and help me. Look up the word savant. And
I know what it means.
Okay, Corey's going to help me.
Okay, good. Bye. Love you.
I love you too.
Hi, Lucretia. How you doing?
Stressed.
Why are you stressed?
It just, there's so many little things. So just as an aside, can you tell me what do I need if?
It depends. I have one set up so that whenever we post a YouTube video, it posts it to Twitter. Most of the stuff that, it used to link to Instagram. Instagram's pretty much gotten rid of most of that stuff. So really that is about the only thing I do use is to have it post to the Twitter feed. So that our Twitter is pretty much just, it manages itself. We really don't have to do much with it. Okay. Instagram posts to it, and YouTube posts to it. So
what about, so here's a question then. So whenever someone, if you're on your live streams, if somebody gives you a super chat or super sticker, and when it lights up, do you need IFT in order for that to happen? Because I want people to, their money to be highlighted.
No, you don't need that to have that light up. It will do that on its own just natively in YouTube. There is stuff if not streaming with StreamYard, if you're streaming with like OBS or Streamlabs, things like that, there are programs out there that can actually make it pop up in the video portion of the live stream. But just to pop up in the chat and be notified for you, you don't need to have that stuff set up at all.
Okay. Because I just didn't know. Let's see. Haley Rooms Dark. Okay, let me check this. I got to turn on this other light, and it might help. Get rid of this white face. Start white. That's a little better, I think. Thank you, Kaylee. So let me pull up a couple things. I'm going to show you that, for instance, and so I'm going to get rid of that because that's really had me. I've just been messing with that for 3 hours trying to figure it out, and it was not working. So I'm going to share the screen with a couple of different things that I'm very confused about. Let me find them. Okay, so here's the first thing. I'm going to bring this up and make sure it's correct. Nope, that's not even it. That's not it. Let me close that. Well, and I guess while I'm trying to find this, do I even need Streamlabs?
No, Streamlabs is another platform just like StreamYard.
Oh.
Streamlabs is pretty much, it's owned by OBS. Most people use it on their mobile phone if they're going to stream on there, but even StreamYard now has a mobile version, so you don't need Streamlabs to do anything that you're doing.
Okay, thank you. I wish I'd have talked to you before I made any decisions.
Yeah. Anytime you have to, feel free to message me.
I know, Corey, but everybody's doing something. You know, everybody's got their own channels that they're working with and trying to deal with. So I'm just searching here for my exactly what I apparently closed this stuff earlier. All right, so on my monetization, I think that, or excuse me, on my analytics. On my analytics, it shows my revenue. Let me just do this. Okay, so so here's this page. Now, I had another page up here somehow, some way. Oh, was it monetization? There was another page that I had up, and I've got it for some reason I have closed it, that showed nothing. I mean, so I know there's a place where I know that, let me try to do this without screaming at everybody. I know, oh, Victoria, hi, sweetie, just give me a minute here. I know there's a place I should be able to go, or that I've been, where it showed, it was blue and all these squares with potentially money, things that I might have earned, but everything was zero.
It'll do that. It's Google AdSense is where you're looking for.
Yes.
And Google AdSense, the revenue from YouTube doesn't show up over there until at the end of the month. They process that monthly, everything that you've done. Like for the month of December will show up. I don't think mine even from December's in there as of yet.
Okay.
So sometimes it takes a week or two after the end of the month before that will show up in AdSense.
Mm-hmm.
And then AdSense will only put it off to your bank account or however you have it set up to send you money when you hit $100 threshold.
Yeah.
So if you only did $25 in December and that shows up there this month, you won't get that paid out until you have $100 sitting in AdSense. But it's all delayed in the time that it gets to AdSense because they only process it once a month.
Okay. So let me just add that one more time. So I know that, so this is what I've made in AdSense, I'm assuming, this $59.
Right. It'll be a combination, what it shows there, what you made in the last 28 days. That's going to be a combination of your ads plus any super chats that you've done.
But I know that so that's where I'm confused, because I do know that I've made more than that in super chats and super stickers. And so I was trying to find out, I was trying to get a list of all the people who've done super chats and super stickers, because I wanted to make a video.
Go over on the left-hand side over there in your menu and click where it says Monetization.
Yep.
And then up at the top there, click that middle tab that says Members. That's for your members if you have members set up. And the one beside it is Supers. That's your super chats and your super stickers.
Okay, because I just tonight got the membership set up, and I've submitted it for approval. It's taken me a little bit of time to get that going. So I know, I'm pretty sure. So I just was, all right. So eventually this will all show up. And so my last question is, if I want, this is sadly how unprepared I was for being monetized. And I'm just being honest to God, honest with people. So I don't know how to do this any different. I don't even know where to go if I wanted to change which bank I wanted to be paid to. I mean, how does somebody sign up for this stuff and not know where they signed up, Corey?
Right. All your banking information will be over on the Google AdSense page.
Okay.
And it'll have a spot where it shows, like your total revenue available or whatever. And it has a spot to set up your payment and things like that. And it'll ask for tax information and all that good stuff.
Okay. And that is on the Google. I'm not going to go to that right now, but that's on Google AdSense.
Yep.
All right. Because I'll look at that again. I mean, I'll look at that and see what I can find. But when I started looking at different options of if and some other things, I'm like, wow, what? I don't even know. I've never heard someone use that terminology.
Right. I mean, when it comes down to it, the revenue you're going to make from YouTube, it's a business. So any of that money that YouTube does pay you during the course of the year, you'll have to fill out a Schedule C with your taxes and claim it as business income.
Right, right.
Like that. So when you set that up over in the Google AdSense for your payment information, it'll have a spot where it wants your tax information. Like that. Or not your sole proprietor, which would be just doing it under your own Social Security number on your taxes, sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And just fill out that information, and then you'll be good to go.
Okay. Well, thank you. And tomorrow you get a call. I'm lost. Okay, I'm lost somewhere in YouTube.
Well, how about I turn up a live stream tomorrow night over on TuberGuru, and you can come in and bring anyone you want with you, and okay. we'll do a talk and dive in a little deeper.
Thank you very much, Corey. That would be fabulous, really.
All right. No problem.
All right. Well, thank you.
All right. I'll go ahead and drop back down into the chat.
Okay. You have a good night, Corey.
You too.
And Miss Victoria, hello, dear.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, well, I feel a little bit better now. I feel a little better now because that's, I try to do this. I know people offer to help and they're genuine about their offer, but I also know that everybody's doing something to try and build their channels and they've got their own time to put into it. And I just, with every fiber of my being, I am not the person who ever asked for help. And here we are. What time is it tonight? Like 9 o'clock. And I'm on here, ready to pull my hair out. And I don't have a lot left to pull out.
Well, listening to you makes me not in such a hurry to get monetized.
No, I don't need to do that, Vicki, because I make things harder. I make things harder on myself, and I'm always trying to find something bigger and better and more. I have the disease of more. I need more of whatever it is I think is going to help me.
Oh, I'm just happy with what I got. And I try to build more friends. I guess that's what I try to build more friends. And not just people that say they're my friends, but real friends.
That's right. I understand that. And let me see this here. When you hit the $100 threshold, they will send you a pin in the mail, and it will say at the top of the screen, you're on right now. I'm in blue. That they sent to your pin and need you to put. Oh, I'll look. You mean in my, so let me go back to them, TCG fam. So do you mean in my email, I will get something from them saying, this is my pin or whatever? So it's just interesting that, so I didn't start this out to be monetized. Honestly, didn't have an idea about that. It looked like that was for smarter people who were more interesting, and people had something to say. And as it turns out, I actually enjoy this. I enjoy meeting people like you and Corey and Susan and Kaylee and everybody else. I love you guys. You guys are fun. You guys are a fun time. And then I found out I might be able to make a couple dollars. Nothing substantial, I don't think, for myself is not how I'm looking at it, but there's nothing wrong with that either. So my goal was to get, the first 1,000 friends, and then it was to get the 4,000 watch hours, and all of that happened. And and then it's like, okay, well, I guess I should know the business end of this. I can't just, I just set up my, gosh darn it, my levels of membership for my channel. And I made them, I did something very, I did them just basic and very, very cheap. And so, because it's not because I don't think that I have value, it's because I know that everybody out there is, living, trying to build their channels. And, no, I don't have a bunch of money to just put into other channels. I'm trying to build my own, for gosh sakes. But
exactly.
There's two that I do. And for two different separate reasons. One, I love his dogs. Camper Van Kevin, as New Horizons said, Susan said, Kevin has kidney cancer.
Oh no.
Yes. And his puppies are going to go stay with somebody, his friend where his Purple House is. And I'm just, while he gets treatment and care.
That breaks my heart for the puppies and for him. I mean, that's their little family right there, those 3 dogs and Kevin. And those dogs aren't going to understand, where's my dad,
Yep.
And they're kind of the movie stars of his show too. And
yes, they are. But they're just also, it's I was in tears when I read, because I got his Patreon thing today, and it said that he had, he said he has a tumor, I think it was 3/4 the size of his kidney, one of his kidneys. And it is heartbreaking, because I mean, Kevin loves those dogs, and those dogs adore him. And and then there's him, there's him, the life, his life. And I just want him to be well. And he's got help there in Phoenix from a couple of people that are his friends, that he knows are his friends, and they will help him.
Yeah. So, hello, Linda Barker, and she gave you a a super chat. Is that what you call it?
Let me see. That is yes, that's a super chat. Thank you, Linda Barker. Thank you. I know, Linda. I know there's nothing wrong with making a couple dollars, and I'm fine with that. But I don't ever want it to be that's what it's about, because it's not. And it's nice, and it shows, I feel good when somebody does that, but I don't feel more good than when someone like you comes and sits up here. This is what we talk to me.
I just, Teresa, meant to be, just helped me to get the wheel, so that when what I come to do, and I'm like you, I'm on disability, and so my income's not big, but I'm gonna put a $5, and I still need somebody, because I don't know how to do it. So I still need somebody to explain once somebody wins the $5, because if they come up and sing, they'll get put on the wheel for singing. And it's only going to be $5 each week, because I can't afford a lot, and but I don't know how to do, like I said in the thing, it says I'll either send it PayPal or Amazon, $5, but I have no clue how to do that.
Well, that's actually, I can tell you, that's very simple. You just go to Amazon, to the Amazon site, and you just type in Amazon gift cards, and $5. And then all these options for gift cards. Trust me, I am not techie, and it was pretty simple for me. But and then you just type in the amount of money you want to give somebody, and
their email or something.
Their email, yes, it's how I do it. Anyways, I use their email.
Okay, yeah, so I'll just, on Wednesday, I'll just have my email scroll across the bottom.
Yeah.
And they can email me, and then once they do, I'll have their email, and I go to either PayPal. I'm going to give them the choice, PayPal or Amazon. Sure. I go to one or the other, and I put in the email and the $5 amount.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
And then
I can just remember all that.
Well, It really self-explanatory. Once you get to Amazon, if they decide they want an Amazon card, it's pretty self-explanatory. In some ways, PayPal would be simpler. But if you run into trouble, I do know how. That is one thing I do know how to do.
Okay, I thank you because yeah, that's a new thing that I'm going to be doing, but it's going to be, for now it'll be just for the people that come up and sing, because I'm stretching it trying to do that, but I figured it might help me to grow because I am growing, but I'm growing very, very slowly. And it kind of gets me a little depressed because not too many people come. And so I'm hoping that maybe that little incentive, I mean, I hope that don't sound bad, but I'm hoping that little bit of incentive will start bringing people.
Sure. I mean, so most of the time, it doesn't always equate that, you can entice somebody with a carrot. And that's one way, that's just life. People get enticed with lots of different kind of carrots. Sometimes a real carrot and sometimes $5 or, whatever.
Yeah.
And so is it that if they sing, they're going to go up on the wheel, and then at the end of your night, you're going to spin the wheel?
Well, me and Kenny decided after 2 hours whether the live goes longer or not. At the 2 hour mark, I'll do the wheel, and then whoever has come up to sing at the 2 hour mark will be put on the wheel. After that, that's it. So and I actually forgot to put that in the little explanation. So I hope I remember to go back and put that in at the 2 hour mark.
That's something you can easily go check back and see. And here's this is Corey, TuberGuru. It's his other channel, and Corey's brilliant. Lori and Corey, their channel is fabulous. Everybody here, I'm assuming everybody here knows Corey and Lori. And if you don't, then fix it and go see them. Either, Northwoods RV Life is one channel that they do. And then Corey specifically does TuberGuru. And,
I'm gonna write it down.
And he's going to 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Eastern time, and it's 5 o'clock for you and I.
I don't actually have him, so I am going to write him down.
Okay. TuberGuru. And that's a true fact right there. The word, there's just, it could not have fit better. The shoe fits fully. So,
yeah, and I probably can get some knowledge from that too.
Yes, you can. Yes.
Yeah.
He did do my banner art, my channel art and my little logo. I found the car. I paid $9.99 one time in order to get access to that, buy that license, so to speak, I guess. And I get to use it. And so I sent it to him, and he made it into what makes sense. So that is what I love, is that he knows how. He just has the ability to know those things.
Yes, I paid the $10 a month for the StreamYard, and so now I have that extra stuff that you can do in there. But to be honest, I have no clue how to do any of it. I don't know how to do, how you can, like, behind you, instead of the black screen, you can put some kind of designs back there, or you can do all these other things, in there. And it's like, it's kind of overwhelming when you don't have the know-how. And when you're sitting there trying to read everything, explaining about it, it's really hard to grasp it all, even when I watch the videos where they explain how you do all these things, by the time I'm done with the video and I'm out of there, I've forgotten half of what they just told me.
Well, you know, so the deal is that we don't know what we don't know. I mean, I know how to, for instance, I'll parallel this with, I know how to do chart notes for counseling because I went to school, I learned how to do it, someone taught me hands-on, and then I went out into the field and I learned how to do it in the field. So,
Yeah.
you know, we do have YouTube University or whatever it's called. We have other people's knowledge, but there's not a place where I trust me, I typed in several things today, like how do I know how much I've made on YouTube? Okay, so that should be basic knowledge. And I'm really not stupid. I'm actually relatively smart. I mean, I can learn anything, but I have to be taught. You know, someone has to teach me.
Right.
I've got a bunch of fireworks going off somewhere nearby, or somebody's shooting a gun.
It's like learning to go on to StreamYard.
Yes.
Somebody had to show you how to do that, or me how to do that,
Yeah.
before I actually knew how to do that. And
That's
once
right.
I started doing it, I started remembering the more often I would do it, the more I was able to remember what
Right.
to do next. And
Right.
Teresa was the first one to actually really help me. She came up on my first live and she walked me through some things, like how to share the screen, the main things at the time. And she showed it, and once I did it a few times after that, I was like, well, what now? What do I do? You know, but what I would catch myself, and I would figure it out. And once I started doing it more and more and more, I was able to remember what
Yeah.
to do. And I guess that's how it is with everything. I mean, if you're doing it hands-on, and you might not remember everything the first time or the second time, but you do it enough in repetition,
Yeah.
and you start to remember it.
I was let me just comment on this here. So Susan says, I do PayPal and channel memberships. I have Patreon, but getting rid of that soon. If you PayPal a channel, creator gets 100% of the money, where super chats they don't. That's true. I think it's 70% is what we get to keep. Something like that. I have to do the research. I talked to Kaylee today, talked me off the ceiling the first time. I had about an hour conversation with Kaylee early on today because I was, you know, spinning in my head. But so the deal, and I'm fine with that. I was actually talking about I have Patreon too, but I've talked about getting rid of Patreon for the reason of that very reason. I want to make it simpler for people. I thought I would just do everything on my channel, you know, with the membership if people want to do that. And I believe that I should be able to do everything from that. The only reason I wanted to do Patreon is because I have this vision of a channel that that first of all, I think that 10 heads thinking something through are better than one. I believe that a community working together makes the most progress. And I genuinely believe that, and just what I believe. So my goal was to have, if, you know, people who came to Patreon wanted to join my Patreon channel, I don't even know if that's the right word, but I just call it Patreon channel, at I think it was $4.99 to be able to then help develop our channel. Because there's people who don't want to have their own channel, like they don't want to do content. They have no interest in ever doing content, and that's great. There's some extremely bright people out there that should be doing content, but for whatever the reason, they don't want to. So why not capitalize on everybody's brain working together to build a nice YouTube channel that is able to give back to the community? It's just one hand helping the other, you know. And so that was my goal. But as it turns out, there's a risk in what the risk is, that it's called what did Kaylee call it? Channel off channeling or something. It's where someone, let's say someone sees that and then they leave your channel when you're in the middle of a YouTube live stream, and they go over here to Patreon. And so they've left your channel. And really the heart of our channels is people watching our videos, participating in live streams. That's where the heart of the channel is. Patreon, for me, in my mind, and I could be wrong, is just it's a separate useful entity. So like I get live updates from Kevin all the time, several times a week, many times a week. I'll get we get an update like today about his condition situation, or get early videos before they're released to everybody else. It's just, it's like a community, and there's a place where we can go chat with them. And so that's what I like about that. And so I've got to figure out how to do that in another way, I guess, because I'm not excited about Patreon and what they charge. And I don't think that it's, in some ways, it's not fair. They deserve to make back what they put in. They have built a platform that was not cheap. I guarantee it cost them a bundle to keep it going. But it's like 30% seems a little bit steep, because then after a certain amount, people have to then pay taxes on top of that. So on top of the 30% or so that they take, then it's taxable income. Yeah. So I don't know if that's before. So anyways, there's just some money things that I'm curious about.
It's like so much to keep up with too. And it's like I have a hard enough time keeping up with YouTube and Facebook. Now you put Instagram and all these other sites that I hardly ever go to because I'm too busy being on Facebook or YouTube. So I don't like to overload myself to where it's overwhelming either.
Yes, I hear you, and I don't want to do that to myself, or it won't be fun. I enjoy learning. And that was part of my challenge, is I miss college. I miss college. And when I went to college and I found out I actually am not stupid, I actually do have a brain, and I let it rest on its laurels for a long, long time, and then put it to work in my 50s.
Well, I'm not stupid, but I'm also not very educated. I was always held back in grade school. And so I was an older kid in grade school. When I got through the 6th grade and I ended up in the 7th grade, I was older than most of the kids in the 7th grade. I only stayed in the 7th grade for 2 weeks, and then I quit school. So.
Well, you know what, Vicki? I graduated high school with a .98, not a 1.98 or a 2.98, but a .98, and that's because I was a young alcoholic. It's just a fact. I drank and I smoked pot back in high school, and so I was distracted by fun things, and so I didn't pay attention, and I was an athlete. So I had an athlete, a musician, and a young alcoholic. And
it wasn't nothing like that for me. I think that it was my family life, to be honest, is what kept me from learning in school and succeeding, is because of the life I had back then, and without getting too into it, but it was just the life that I had, made it hard for me to succeed in school.
I think that happens to a lot of people, though, Vicki, and one form or another. Good night, Susan. Thank you for coming over to check things out. And I hope you have the time to go visit TuberGuru tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. TuberGuru, 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
What time is that for us?
That's 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
Yeah, it's 5 o'clock. So, but I appreciate you coming, Susan. So I tell you, so we get distracted by things, and it could be just, you know, somebody who's distracted by lots of things. You know, maybe they're, you know, I was also planning to go in the military. I was supposed to go in the Navy. So I had 4 things involved that I was involved with, and one of them was not school. Okay, I wasn't interested. As it turns out, I actually love history. I love history. And I'll tell you what, I actually, if someone teaches me, I can do math things, but I'm not have a proclivity towards math. But
I do better at math now that I'm an adult and
yeah,
had to add and minus and do bills, and I mean that's taught me more math than I learned in school, to be honest. Life teaches you more, and I did really good in school with reading and history and science and art. You know, I excelled in those things, but I slept a lot in school. That's
I decided I was going to take German of all foreign languages to take, which I like I like the sound of the German dialect. And so I took it, but I failed for an entire year, and they just let me keep. The only reason I passed, well, I failed that class completely. But I loved it, you know, I really loved it. So I want to say hello to Box Van D. Well, first of all, back to Northwoods real quick. So that's what I was talking with Kaylee Corey about today, was about finding a way to do with channel membership what I had intended on doing with Patreon. And maybe tomorrow night that's something that, I don't know if it comes up, or the opportunity to talk about that would be great too, because I don't know how, you know, you can, anyways, we'll talk about that another time, but that's exactly what I was talking to Kaylee about today. So good point. Box Van D, hello. Thank you for coming and stopping by.
Misty.
Yep, and fighting internet today. I don't blame you. It's fighting internet is going to be a pain for us too here shortly. Very much so. Kaylee, jumping off platform. That's what it's called, jumping off platform. And that's when we ask somebody to go from YouTube to Patreon or to Instagram or to whatever. So they're on the platform watching one of our videos or in a live stream. And then we throw something in that says, oh, by the way, why don't you go check us out on Patreon? I think I see all the pitfalls in that.
Yeah.
You know,
It's like you say, after this live, go check out my Patreon.
yeah, there you go. And hello, Cynthia Pollock and Linda Barker. YouTube membership is still evolving, but only getting better. That's the hope. And my understanding, I've joined so many things today, Vicki, I can't even begin to tell you. And that's all because I did not want to call anybody else. I called Kaylee. There's only so much somebody who's not a content, you know, that is not monetized knows. You can't. I couldn't have known these things before I was monetized. And we don't really talk about this stuff, you know, because nobody really wants to talk about money. And it's like it's a taboo thing. But if you're going to get paid for it, you should at least know how to fully maximize that ability.
Yeah.
You know, that's all. Implementing the join button keeps people who want to contribute to the platform and makes it easier for people to both contribute and come back to your channel. Okay, yep, that makes sense. Let's see who this, Michael's Adventures. Hello, Michael. Thank you for coming. I'm not sure I've met you before, but welcome.
Sissy's RV Journey. Hello.
Where's Sissy? I'll find her in just a minute. Boucher Street, me too. And I dropped out and went for my get right away. And in my 20s, I went to community college, but I never finished. So I went to community college in my mid-20s. it was when that's when I had gotten sober at 21. And so I decided I wanted to be an alcohol and drug counselor about 15 minutes after I got sober. And
well, you have the experience to
yeah,
do it.
nobody wants to hear from you when you're 15 minutes sober, but I'm just being sarcastic. And so I went to school in Salem, which is about 60 miles north of us. I lived up in Salem for a few years, and I went to school and got a certificate in alcohol and drug counseling, and then got married and didn't do anything much with it. And then I went back to the University of Oregon many years later. About 10 years ago, I went and I got my undergraduate degree in Family and Human Services. And then I was working on my master's degree in public health policy when my back started collapsing underneath of my body. So, and had 12 surgeries since then. So I'm not anybody's, trust me, you don't want me to come and work for you, because it's definitely, I'm not a reliable employee at this time of my life. Oh, wow, 30%. I did not know. That seems like too much. It's a lot. And I believe that it's 30%. I could be off by a little bit, but it's right around there. Catherine Cook, we are getting ready to go meet up with our tribe family now, waiting for a packing, then on to Yuma. Well, cool. I'm glad. We're supposed to leave for Quartzsite in like the middle of the week. We're waiting on, let's see, what are we waiting on? Oh, we have to go pick up our solar panels from Troy, Nomadic Rat Pack. He's got our solar, and so we've got to pick that up. And he's in Southern Oregon, and then we're not going to get guaranteed. I don't believe we'll get it put on before we leave, and so we're going to have to carry that with us. We're going to have to carry those 2 5-foot solar panels around with us until we get to this desert, and hopefully find somebody to help us with it, unless it looks like Richard and I can do it on our own. Let's see who else. Sissy's RV Journey, welcome, and thank you for coming, Sissy. Very glad you're here. Thanks, Kaylee. We will always have pray before we travel. Yes. So I'm excited to go to Arizona. I can't wait to go to Arizona. Another place. So I don't know that I'll get to come and see you before, but we will come and see you when we come home. We will come. You're the next stop in my book, and that. There's so many leaving Arizona at the end of going into spring. I don't know, I need to get down there in order to meet with these people and meet them, or I won't get to meet them.
Well, you would kind of be going out of your way too if you came this way and then go that way. You'll be going a shorter distance if you just go straight towards California and then over, probably.
Yeah,
but it's about 1,000 miles that way. If you
yes, it's actually, I think down to Quartzsite it's about 1,200 from here to LA. For us is 1,000 miles down to Los Angeles, and it's a little bit further down to Quartzsite. But but I really want to come up there. I've also got nieces that live up in Tacoma. And so we will be going. So there you go, 30% across the board, ad revenue, super chats, and membership. They take 30% off the top. So yeah, it's a lot. But like I said, I don't begrudge them. Hey, they had the money and they had the people and the know-how to set up a platform like this so that me and nobody could come on here and talk to you, Vicki, and everybody else. I mean, I know nothing about this. So they did the footwork, and I'm profiting from that. And so I owe them. And that's just, that's kind of how it is a lot, but it's how I look. It's how I rationalize it in my head.
I've always grown up knowing a penny in your pocket is penny earned.
Yeah, that's true.
And it all adds up eventually.
It really does. It very much adds up eventually. it's amazing. It's amazing. And as I'm getting older, I'm trying to be more respectful of the money that I do have and use it in a responsible way, because I'm not anybody who anybody would ever thought to be responsible in any manner, let alone money.
How did you like it on your camping trip in the
Yes, so that I really did like it. It was a mixed, it's a mixed bag because it was raining the whole time.
what a bummer.
It was raining, and we weren't in a place where we could even put out our awning. Couldn't go out. It couldn't. And so, we didn't get to have. We had one campfire, and by the way, we forgot our camp chairs, so we couldn't really sit around the campfire. And
I seen the video. I was like, why are you putting all the wood in there right now? Wait until it starts to go down and then add another piece. Your wood will last longer.
I know. I know, but I
was sitting there watching Richard put all that wood in there.
I was afraid it was going to start pouring rain again, and it was going to put out the fire. And so he just made one big fire. And normally, we do it differently, and it was right by that table. I thought was going to, if it wouldn't have been raining for 3 days, it would have caught on fire, but it was waterlogged.
Well, that was a good thing then.
Yeah, it's fun though, Vicki. I mean, I will tell you, I can't wait to do it again. I'm thinking, do I want to leave tomorrow and go somewhere? No, we have things we have to take care of. Richard is working on he's replacing headlights, and that's getting done. And then also working on the generator, and a guy helped him out with that, and pretty sure they know what's wrong with it. And a part is ordered, and it's a wire. It's a wire.
Yeah.
Enough. It's a wire. And so we're very, very happy, because I don't know, when we go to the desert, we have to be self-sustaining. We cannot,
there's no plugins.
We don't, no plugins. And there is 1,000 trails that is about 30 miles away, but that's 30 miles away. And I'm not going to drive back every day to Quartzsite from the 1,000 trails in my RV. It's just,
Yeah, that wouldn't make sense.
And, so we got to learn a lot of things, like I need a toad. I need a car to pull behind my RV. So we can go places and we can do things, because again, you don't want to drive those things all over the place.
Yeah, it's like Millie and James. They pull their trailers so they can leave it stationary while they drive their truck into town and do whatever they got to do.
It is. That's a really good way.
And that's why I brought you this helicopter.
Okay, Josh. So that's an ideal way. Okay, it's ideal to pull something behind you. And he's got, they have the truck, the nice big truck to pull that nice big fifth wheel. And and I love that fifth wheel.
I do too.
It's it is a house. It's just a tiny house.
Yeah.
On a different scale than what ours is, and that's fine. I'm totally okay with the size of our rig, but we do need something eventually to pull behind it. Probably will not have it when we leave. I mean, I'm not going to have a vehicle between now and, at the very latest, next week. A week from now. But somewhere in the next 7 to 8 days, we'll be leaving. But
Jerry's got a really nice one too, and so does Melnetti.
Oh yeah,
Melanetti, and so does Susan. I think it was Susan.
Yeah, they have
a big one. And who else? Teresa and Mike, I believe, have a pretty good size housey looking one too.
Yeah.
They all have really awesome RVs. I mean, it's like you can live in those. They're really a home.
Yep, they are. They are really a home. And part of what makes that easier to live in is the slide outs. So we've started making a list for our forever RV home. It really
Yeah.
will need a slide out.
Yeah.
Because, so here's Rich. We have the dinette, but we don't have a couch, as you probably know. I've showed you that. So it's a tight squeeze. There is nobody walking around in that RV if the other person ain't sitting down somewhere.
Yeah.
Because it's really, it's a very narrow path from the front to the back, and so that is an issue, and that's okay. We're willing to live with that. I mean, I believe, just like I believe this would all happen, and we don't happen, I believe that we will get another RV eventually that will be more of a good fit for us long term. If we're in this for a couple of years, that's all right. And so there's just things. So like when we go to sell it eventually, it'll have solar on it. It will make it of a better value. It will have a running generator, by the way, and it will make it a better value. So it just will have, we will have upgraded some things that we can. We're going to take out there. I don't know if you remember, but at the very back between the two beds is well, and that's another thing. We don't really care for the twin beds. We'd rather have one bed, like a queen size, but it's got to be queen size. So that's not really big enough to do, I don't think, a twin size bed and we've got two closets. Just as you walk in, you can't really see them, but we've got two half closets that are hanging from the ceiling on either side, and then straight back the big closet with 3 drawers, I think it is. So we're going to take out, I already know we're going to do it. We're taking out the closet from the drawers up. We're keeping the drawers, and that's where we put Patty Cake's little stairs for her to climb up her little steps and get in bed, because she's getting old, she needs a little. So we're going to take out that closet, that upper half, and also I want to be able to see him. I don't like not seeing his face. I'm married to the man for 36 or 35 years. I really do like him, and I enjoy seeing him. So I don't like having a whole building between us when we sleep. So anyways, yes. But it was fun. It was fun. I used that bathroom. I'll tell you. And that bathroom is not that big of a bathroom, Vicki. Yes.
I heard you complaining in there.
Oh my gosh.
During that one video, you was in there and you was like, oh boy, we're going to have to get a fan or something.
Well, there is a fan above, and I turned it on when I used the shower. So I did everything in that bathroom a human could possibly need to do. And it's doable, but it is not a fun time.
Now, is it the kind of bathroom, what do they call it, a wet bath, where you sit on the toilet and shower?
No.
Or
I almost think that would be better in some ways. No. Actually, the shower worked really good. We have a very good hot water tank. So this is what my show is going to be about tomorrow, but I'll tell you. This is because it's all the funny stuff. So poor Richard. And I say poor Richard because Richard does all of the physical work. All right.
Yeah.
And he ain't completely physically healed.
Yeah.
So I give everything to Richard. He works his butt off. And so he had went and he'd gotten stripped down. He was in the shower, getting ready to take a shower. And he yelled out, he goes, "Is there hot water?"
Oh, and then he got burned, I remember. It's
like, no, he didn't. I said, no, there hasn't been hot water. I just didn't think we had hot water. And he goes, what? Why didn't you tell me? So he gets dressed and he goes out and we called Troy. And we called Troy. And the issue was you have to light. See, again, we're people who shouldn't be RVing, I think. You have to light the pilot light.
Oh, yeah.
Of the hot water heater. And nobody told me that, I didn't know. And so, anyway, he was not excited, nor was he interested in getting back in the shower. So I took that hot shower just to show it worked. And it works fabulously. The hot water heater works really, really good. And
not too hot.
Not too, you have to be careful. And yes, it gets real hot. And so you just got to make sure the settings are good. But yeah, I felt really bad for Richard because he really wanted to shower and he was not happy. And so he just didn't take one. Northwoods, it is a lot still the only large social platform to share ad revenue with creators. Facebook is just starting to copy YouTube's partner program. Cool. I mean, they've got, ideally they would eventually, or there's going to be there are other platforms, as it turns out. Sissy's RV journey, my breaks. So on to the breaks. We'll leave the shower behind us with all the bad memories. So the breaks turned out to really be nothing other than they were something. So people were generally more responsible than this, but we had not checked the brake fluid. The brakes were great. Those brakes were screeching halt good. I had to really learn how to use that brake pedal. And so we called Troy. We called Troy, and he recommended Richard check the brake fluid. And the brake fluid was basically out. Almost out. Now, it worked great up until the moment it didn't. I mean, it would grab really, really well and hard. So I don't understand how all of a sudden the brake fluid could be out, but it was, because it worked coming all the way back from Roseburg, and it's worked when we've driven it around town.
There's no hole in the tubers or anything?
Well, we don't think so, but we're going to continue to watch it. So he's checked it since it's been home. So what we did is we didn't have any way to get the brake fluid, by the way. I had to drive it back. I drove back from, we had been at the beach, kind of at the beach. Mm-hmm. And we were on our way back to our camp when I went to step on the brakes, and there was almost no brakes, and I shifted into low gear, and I was terrified.
Yeah, no doubt.
It was January 1st, so, and it was 5 o'clock in the evening. It was about 4 o'clock, and I drove back to, I got it back to the camp. There was no alternative. I mean, there really was. I guess the alternative was we would just pull over somewhere and just wait it out until the next day. And I suppose smarter people would have done that. But I felt in control of the vehicle. I just went very, very slow. And where we were camped was at the highest peak in that particular campground. So I had to go up a very steep, small road, gravel road, to the top of the campground. And then it was dark by the time we got there, and so I had to back in the space. Well, I backed into it already once or twice, fine. Richard helped, but I got it, no problem. I backed it in. I know how to use the side mirrors, so I'm good with that. Although on my wish list for Sunday is a backup camera, because I really, he can't jump out every time, or when he's driving, I'm not going to jump out every single time. Anytime I might need to back up. So that's one of those wish list things, but it'll happen eventually. They're not expensive.
They're not that expensive, really.
No. But so we got backed in, but that's not a time when I'm thankful that our YouTube, or that we were not videotaping, because we were not happy at that moment. I was very scared. I was very scared. And so, that was, so we had, what are one of those delivery services that are so popular now? I can't think of the name of it, but it is, good golly, what is the name of it? Anyways, it's a delivery service, and I didn't know they would deliver to a campground. So my niece used to work for them, and I called her and I said, Jennifer, will they deliver? Because she worked in Florence, as a matter of fact. Mm-hmm. And I said, will they deliver to the camp? She goes, of course they'll deliver anywhere, So I called them, and they delivered. They went and picked us up 2 bottles 3 bottles of brake fluid because I wanted to be super sure, and
Yeah.
something else. But the bottom line is we got it delivered, and he put it in, and it's worked fine. I've had no issues. It seems to be holding. The well is full of brake fluid, so I don't know what could have happened when I hit the brake. And then there was just no brakes. It's like it went from perfect to nothing.
That's scary.
Yes, that is actually very scary. The only living thing I can be that close to for a substantial length of time is Luna. Yeah. Luna's my cat. Yes, Luna's her kitty cat. I know, poor Richard. I really did feel bad for Richard. He was so not happy, Kaylee. And so one of the things I do like about RV is that you do put everything really does go back in its place. And really, we were playing cards one night, and we were sitting there playing cards, and like the sink is right there. I could pour myself some coffee water, tea water. All I have to do is just reach across and grab it. I mean, I don't know that we're supposed to live in things quite that little, but I think it'll be fine. I think Facebook needs like 10,000 followers, which I don't get because I thought the limit was 5,000. Yeah, I hardly Facebook.
Sure. You're learning to be a minimalist.
Yes, very much so. Very much a minimalist these days. And I look forward to it. I still have a whole garbage bag of clothes to get rid of. And some of these are very nice, and if I did not want to just get it done, I would put them on Marketplace and sell them, which I did early last year. I sold a whole bunch of my clothes, and but I'm just giving them to the mission, the women's side of the mission, because larger women have shit for clothes, excuse my bad language, coming out of the mission. If you're a large lady and you end up in the mission, you're going to get usually just oversized men's clothes or stuff that looks really bad. And my stuff does not look bad. And so I'm just donating it to the women at the mission because they need it. They need it. I'm not giving it to Goodwill for them to resell. I'm giving it to the mission ladies.
Yeah.
So the brake lines, so we took it to Connects the next day just to make things even better. So we took it to Connects, and they could not find anything wrong. I know, Sissy, that's what I think too. So the plan is to watch the well where you put it in, break through, to watch it. We'll see if anything changes. That's what we can do. Oh, because brake fluid is in the wrong. Well, thank you. So yeah, it's all something to pay attention to.
Sorry about my clock.
That's all right. We have a clock. We have a grandfather clock too, but it's I don't think it's working right now. Good evening, Cindy Wheeler. Welcome. I'm probably not going to keep people on much longer because I now have to figure out what we're going to talk about tomorrow.
No, Kaylee, it was my grandfather's clock. The thing chimes at the most inconvenient time sometimes.
Oh, well. Let's see. Hello, Van Life. Thank you for coming.
Lucretia, I gonna get off of here, hon. But I am glad that you got somebody to help you with the internet thing and figuring that out. And I'm glad everything's working out with your RV. And I can't wait until the day we actually can meet. The other day, Kenny was like, had this mood, and he was like, I want to go somewhere. I want to drive somewhere now. I said, well, we can go to Spokane, or we could go visit Lucretia and Richard in Oregon. And he's like, no, you know, we don't know. No, we're not going to do that. You know, where would we stay? It'd be late. And he had all these excuses. I said, why'd you even say that if you didn't mean it? And I was like, I would have been able to call you and say, hey, we're on our way.
That would be cool. Well, we do plan on coming up there. One of the places in Washington, like I said, I've got 2 nieces and a boatload of grandnieces and nephews, and great grandnieces and nephews, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, I have up to my eyebrows full of family up there. And so I would like to go see them, and I'd like to go to see where my sister, so some of my sister's ashes are here. It's my oldest sister who passed 4 years ago. Some of her ashes are actually here in an urn buried with my mom and another sister who died. And her and her husband, their rest of their cremation is at a national cemetery up there. My brother-in-law was in the Army. And so up north of Tacoma is a national cemetery, and we've never been up there to see their grave up there. And so that really matters to me to go up there. So I want to go see them. I want to see you on my way up. And then after I'm done, I'm going to make like a horseshoe. I'm going to go over to, what's that little city? What's that city in central Washington that is, I'm going to use the word German, but that's not the right exact term. Oh man, it's very well known, except by you and I.
Oh, he's not in there. He would be able to answer that, but
It's in central Washington.
he must be outside having a cigarette. So,
Okay. Well, I'll
but
figure it out.
yeah.
But, yeah. Thank you for coming up and hanging out for a while, and I appreciate it, and I always appreciate you, Vicki.
Thank you, Lucretia. I hope one day you'll come out. I know you're really busy, but I hope you'll make it and sing at my karaoke again someday.
I will, and it's just the last couple weeks. Like last week, we were gone, and I didn't get back here till you were done, and I was just given the ability to sit in this chair and look at my computer. So I will. I mean, I will come back. I like to sing and once in a while, and I like to support you because you support me and you support everybody else. So I could come and sing a song again for you.
I hope so. I miss you being there. You know, it makes it a lot easier when my friends are there.
I know. I understand that feeling. And trust me, it really did I felt bad because I knew I'd told you I'd be there, but I just could not. We were out trying to finish getting everything we needed. And
yeah, and I was kind of hurt by Brent. He said he would come sing, and what's his excuse?
I know it.
He didn't come.
He did not come, and he was here, so I'll tell him.
Tell him you hurt my feelings.
I will tell him that, Vicki.
I came to his wedding, and he can't come sing once.
That's true. That's true. We'll get him over there. He loves to sing, so we'll get him over there.
I know he does, and he's got a fantastic voice.
Yes,
so
he does.
I can't wait until, I mean, he'll make my show if he'll come.
Well, I'll tell him that, and he's got big enough ego that might help him feel better. No, he just, you know, he's busy at night, but that's all right. He can take 15 minutes and go be on your show and sing a song for you, and
he might win $5.
And he might win $5. And trust me, the boy could always use $5. Man, he's a boy.
Well, he's always your boy.
He's always
my daughter is 37 years old, but she's still my little girl.
Yep. Oh, my mother had 6 daughters, and she, you know, we were always her little girls. Trust me, it was never going to be any different than that. So,
parent, that's just the way it is. So,
I'll let you go.
All right, Lucretia, you have an awesome night. God bless you.
God bless you, sweetie. Bye-bye. All right. So that was, thank you guys. You know, I was panicked. I just was panicking because, and I just felt foolish. It's like, how could I have gotten into this without knowing more? I guess I pushed so hard to get, you know, to get to this point, and then I didn't know what the heck I was doing. And Traveling Nate Dog, hello to you. Thank you. And Johnny also. I know I heard that you say you heard the ding, ding, ding. Yes, we have a grandfather clock too, but it is not working. Yeah, just talking about monetization issues. And do I really need IFT, by the way? No, I don't. And so I feel much better now that I talked to Corey, Northwoods RV Life. So people, please, I'm going to go back up. Kaylee, could you please drop that link for tomorrow night? 8 o'clock Eastern time, 5 o'clock Pacific time. He's going to do a special show on, not on his Northwoods RV Life channel, but on his TuberGuru channel about these questions. And so I'll be super happy to have Corey, because I trust there's nothing on my channel that I don't feel that I could go pose to Corey and he will not have the right answer for me, or at least he'll know exactly how for me to find it out. And so I'm grateful for that. There's other people too. Kaylee, right, makes it, everything is full and all cabinets are closed securely, and outer storage doors also. Yes, ma'am. The outer storage bay and the step has to be in. And I always ask Richard, did you put the step in? Because he's the last person to deal with that outside stuff and getting in and out of the RV. And so I always ask him, did you put the step in? Because I've heard horror stories about the step. Yep, all this stuff. I don't, honestly, Johnny, and I feel good. I just feel really, I feel embarrassed, but then I'm probably not the only person who hasn't jumped in with both feet. And then there's no bottom. You know what I'm saying? I have no clue where anything is. And then I hear that I need something called IFT, IFFFTT, I believe. And I don't. Corey says I don't, and I don't. Leavenworth, Washington. And by the way, I used to say Washington, and I hung on to the word Washington and washing machine until about 2 days ago. And then I let go of using an R in those words. But Washington, Leavenworth, Washington, oh my gosh. I honestly cannot wait to go see that place. And there is, boondocking, but there is also full hookups at my local Thousand Trails. So, and by that time, I will have solar on my roof. So we're still talking about, so how, if we tried to do this before we went to Arizona, how long does it take to put 2 panels up on the roof and wire it down through? But we're going to pick those up probably Monday from Troy, Nomadic Rat Pack. My primary source for information, no rumors or conjecture. Yes, that's why I called Kaylee. As I told her, I believe she is the cool head in the room between the two of us. And I really can't wait to meet Vicky. She's the sweetest lady. I don't know too many super, super, super sweet people, but I think Vicky's definitely the real deal sweet. And I really do like that because I just like it. Johnny's Journey. Where does the creator find their YouTube income statement? Income source, amount, deductions, and other sources. Maybe you'll have time to come by Northwood RV Life tomorrow. Yeah, I just didn't know where to find any of that. And I was panicking because there's one statement where it was all these blue blocks. It's like a blue sheet and all these blocks, and they were just 0, 0, 0. Everything showed nothing, no income. And I'm like, I know I've made some money. I know I've made a couple bucks. Granted, not a lot. And I did publish the first 19 cents that I made. I think everyone feels that way, Lucretia. Yeah. I feel like I'm swimming in a stream and I don't know which direction is up and which way is down. I'm just swimming. Yep, please do. Go. Oh, well, you, Paula. Much love to you, and thank you so much. Thank you so, so much. I was going to call you today, by the way, Paula. I talked to Kaylee, and I said, I've got to talk to somebody. You know, so I decided with Kaylee that, you know, I needed to talk to somebody who had knowledge. Oh, Ava Potterfield, hello to you, and to Land Cloud Adventures. Thank you for coming in. And I thought, well, I could call Aaron, but I'm intimidated by Aaron because he's so damn smart, and he's just so smart. And I feel like, you know, I don't know why. He's just so smart. And I know it's just me. That's just me. And then I said, but I could call Paula. Paula is super, super sweet. And if you weren't busy, but then I thought, well, you're probably busy because it is a weekend and you do get time off from work. And so, and I did see that you had been you were going camping, or you were out watching the Northern Lights. And it sounded like you had meant to stay out all night, spend the night there. I could be wrong about that, but then things went awry and no heat. So I'm glad you're back and you're safe and warm. There's just so many I's to dot and T's to cross, but apparently there's not as much as I thought. And again, I don't even know if I wanted to go change my bank to a different bank, you know, where I want them to pay me at a different bank. I'm not saying that I would, but I don't even know where to do that at. I don't know where I put it to start with. I'm serious. I don't know where I put that in. I was like in a blackout. I was so excited. I was like, I was gone. I did it. And that's all there is to it. I don't need to know anything else. I monetized. And then I did a bunch of work related to it, and I don't know what I did. And that is not advisable, people. So just for the record, always stay cognizantly aware. And I wasn't drinking. I haven't drank in 25 years. So I know I was sober, but I was like so happy I was in a blackout. Blackout happy. And then away we go. All right. So I think what I'm going to do is, since I've got to figure out what I'm going to do for tomorrow's show, I'm going to end this right here. And again, since it was mentioned already on here earlier, I got a notification, since I'm one of Camper Van Kevin's patrons. He apparently has kidney cancer. And his little doggies are going to be staying with his friend where his tiny purple house is. And he's going to be getting some kind of care in at a cancer hospital there in Phoenix. And I wonder if it's, I always had thought, I see like there's this place called Cancer Treatment Centers of America. One of their hospitals is in Phoenix. My sister used to live there. And I remember thinking when I would see the commercials, oh man, if I ever get cancer, I would want to go there or to Seattle. One or the other, but definitely want to go to Cancer Treatment Centers of America. And I hope, you know, he's going to that place because they really look like they do an integrated, holistic approach to treatment. So that's his words. And I'm sure he's going to release that video, but somebody already mentioned it. And so I'm just restating it. It does appear that he's got cancer of the kidney. And so I have a nephew, one of my grown nephews, he had an issue, a kidney problem. It wasn't cancer or anything like that, but he had a kidney transplant about 2 years ago. And it was a very rough recovery. He had to actually stay in Portland, rent a motel, him and his girlfriend, and stay there for 6 weeks, something like that. It was a long time because he had to go every single day. All right, Paula, good night. Yep, that's the other part, is he would prefer that people get the facts right from him. So there's the link to that. Thank you, Kaylee. And Prayers for Kevin. Prayers for those dogs. They're symbiotic. That is a symbiotic relationship, and those four entities love each other and rely on each other. And so I can only imagine. I can only imagine. All right. So Fordman, aka Kenneth Oakes, good night. Yeah, thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate it. We're signing off. And Lily, thank you. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. You're adorable. And I will be by to see you soon. I just have not been up late in the evening. I'm doing good. Is this Kevin? No, it's Camper Van Kevin. Kenneth, it's Camper Van Kevin with the dogs. Camper Van Kevin. Lily, I'm doing good and feeling okay. And I was just having some issues with the monetization piece of the channel work, and it's going to get addressed tomorrow. Some of it was already addressed. And thank you, Megan, for stopping in. I appreciate it. And if you don't already know, at 8 o'clock tomorrow night Eastern time, over on TuberGuru. And Kaylee, did you already drop that link? I think she did. They're going to, Corey's going to do a show about this monetization stuff, because honestly, I just don't know. I think most people don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe it's just me. Okay, I love you too, Sissy. Thank you so much. And I'm hoping I get to meet you soon. And thank you for dropping that link. So I'll let you all get that down, copy it or something. Cindy Wheeler, good night to you. Good night, Kaylee. Sissy's Journey. Lily, thank you, dear. And Catherine Cook, and Going Green Mom. All right, I'll see you all tomorrow, or maybe some of you tomorrow, and we'll just play some games. We'll just have a game. That's usually what I do anyway. Good night, Busher Street and Megan. All right. All right. So if you have any questions about the monetization end of your channel someday, I'm not sure. I don't remember now. Maybe you're monetized and you have that information already, so you may not need it. Yep. Corey's going to discuss what I was too embarrassed to ask about until I did it on a live stream on a Saturday night. There you go. All right. Love you guys. Have a good night. Stay safe, stay healthy, and be happy.